Pandora, did I say that wrong? I probably said it wrong. I'm sorry. Ballad Treasures, Nietzsche, Kimane, that's an awesome name. Jersey Girl, good morning. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Cabri. Good morning, Jude's Closet. Good morning. Good morning. I can't even speak. Good morning, Merv. Wink Threads Apparel. Good morning. Good morning, Mamarazzi. Hi, let me switch. I'm saying hi to you, and I'm like not. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so sorry I'm late. I started adding to the PowerPoint presentation, then I'm like, wait, I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. Did I have my F's in here? No. Oh no. My F's aren't in here. I thought I had added my F's in. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for the share. Good morning, Dave from Alberta. Hi, everyone. So feel free to share your shows and ask your questions. I am going to be talking, obviously, about the strike because it is what it is. Let's see. I'm trying to find my one finger salute, but I wonder if somebody complained about it. Inactive. Oh, there it is. Done. Import. I don't know why it didn't. Canada. Yes. Hi, Zephonics. Welcome in. We're going to talk about the Canada Post strike. So I'm going to start off with that. We're just going to roll. I know some people are going to come in late and they're going to ask the questions. So I'm probably going to repeat myself. Mama, good morning. Mama D. Okay, so let me just put this on. FYI, I'm using my iPhone, so I'm going to put it on face cam, which is a feature of Whatnot. And then I'm going to switch and then I'm going to move myself. Hang on, making myself smaller, putting myself over there. So hi, everyone. Okay, so strike notice given. Let me see if I can zoom in. Zoom. There we go. Okay, yeah. So if you don't know, this is a feature of iPhones. It's not available on Android and it's not Whatnot's fault. It's Android's fault. iPhones and iPads have this. So you can set this up. It's in seller tools. Go to help.whatnot.com and look for seller tools. Okay, so let's start it up. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Tasha. So strike notice has been given. I still don't have there is no information on the CupW website about this, but they did confirm to the media yesterday that this was the case, and Canada Post has sent out notifications and they've blasted it. So, but please note that when a union gives a notification that they are going to possibly exercise their right to strike, they may not do a full strike. Last time this happened, they did a full strike. Okay, so I'm gonna mod you, Terry. Hang on. Allowed to moderate. Yes, there we go. So last time it was a full out strike. It was a walkout, but then Canada Post turned around and said, "Oh, ha, 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 you can't break up with us. I'm breaking up with you first," and they locked out employees. So Canada Post may do that. Canada Post may do a lockout. Or Canada Post, good morning, Canada Post may hope for the best. So let's just talk about it. Okay, so strike notice has been given. I don't know why I didn't put this into a... Okay, so here are the timelines. So May 23rd, which is Friday, is the first possible day that they can start strike action. And strike action is really important. So we're going to talk about what strike action looks like. So the possibilities are that a full national strike happens like it did last time, which means they're on strike, full out, nobody working. And that would pretty much shut down all of Canada Post across the country because it's basically all the delivery. So Canada Post would be shut down. That would be a full national strike, which would start on the 23rd at the earliest. Again, the union gives notification to the company that they're going to make some sort of strike action. They could do work to rule as well. My hope is, fingers crossed, pray to whoever you want to, that it's rolling strikes. Rolling strikes, we could start regionally. And that would be, I think, the ideal situation for everyone. It would put pressure on Canada Post to get their butt moving on some sort of contract negotiations. or it would make the government still work on things without completely bankrupting Canada Post and making it impossible for them to provide any sort of deal because they just don't have any money. Like they were 864, I think it's 800, somewhere around $864 million in debt, like deficit, operational deficit last year. So that's a lot. That's 0.8 billion if you think of it that way. Almost $1 billion in the hole. So phonics, the strike is about a number of things, including restructuring. There's a lot going on. So it's not just about money. Money is like a minor factor amongst all the other things. So yes, they get paid good money. But there's so many other factors that the union's going for. So, and then Canada Post has its own agenda. And basically now there's been the report from the Canadian Industrial Relations Board Commission that was headed by William Kaplan. He provided his recommendations to the government. Now the government's got to decide what they're going to do. So the government could do back to work legislation. They could do some sort of legislation to prevent this, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it in time to stop a strike from happening. So fingers crossed that we have rolling strikes. And Canada Post could also lock out its workers. That's the other option. So if the ideal happens, which is rotating strikes, there we go. If the ideal happens, which is rotating strikes, regions will be on strike, not the whole country. And so we'll still be able to ship using Canada Post, but it'll be like Atlantic Canada might be shut down for 2 days, or Ontario could be shut down for 5 days. They'll do rolling strikes, rotating strikes, where they strike in certain areas or certain distribution centers to put pain on Canada Post without completely grinding things to a halt. So that is an option that the union can exercise. They did not exercise that option last time, but maybe we'll be lucky. This is my current hope, is that they will do this rotating strikes, because it will just mean that in some areas you may not be able to drop off because your post offices are closed for a couple of days and then they'll reopen. So you'll have shipping delays, but you won't have complete loss of Canada Post, because a lot of people only have Canada Post as an option for shipping as sellers. So I'm hoping that this is what happens. But I should wish for something else, because usually when I wish for something, the opposite happens. So, good morning, everyone who's come in. I'm just going to keep going. Okay. So here's another option. Chit Chats is an option for Canadian sellers. And I don't know, Great White Bricks. I just dropped off at the post office before I started this show. So I'm praying. I actually did a little hands thing over. Absolute Flipping Deals, you're right, is saying if they want the public behind them, they should do rotating strikes. Agreed. Okay, so you can use Chit Chats if you're not close to a Chit Chats location. Now, if you are close to a Chit Chats location, I highly recommend that you switch to Chit Chats now, so that you don't have to worry about selling, because you can drop off at a Chit Chats location and your packages will get delivered, because Chit Chats has an alternative system to Canada Post. So that is an option for you, is to select Chit Chats. Currently, I have selected Chit Chats, so my shipping costs have probably changed for everybody. They changed your label in the middle of the night to Chit Chats. That's weird. I tried to read the labels that I was sending out today. I switched my profile to Chit Chats, and then I tried to regenerate those a label and hoping that it would switch to Chit Chats, so then I could just drop off at Chit Chats and not worry about these packages, but it wouldn't let me do that. Ballot Treasures, we don't know whether or not Whatnot's going to be using Purelator. We don't have the list yet. I'll get into that in a second. You put in a ticket. Okay, good. So you can use, if you're not Wink Threads Apparel, Chit Chats is less expensive in most situations. Chit Chats is cheaper in most situations. As a seller, you don't have to worry about what's more expensive, really. It's okay, Ballot Treasures. It just happens. It's the system sometimes. So it just depends. So it depends on where you live. if it's cheaper. You have 2 shipments with Ontario. I already have Canada Post labels. Should I change Chit Chats? Just drop them off. Drop them off, Tasha. Drop them off. Drop them off right now. Stop talking to me. Go drop off the packages. I would just say drop off your packages and then switch to Chit Chats. Drop off what you got that's Canada Post labels and then switch to Chit Chats, especially for you because you got a branch in the schwa. So okay. So if you don't live near a Chit Chats location, there is an option that you could look into and you could do research on. Okay. You can use Chit Chats Canpar discount or your own courier. What you do is, hang on. There we go. Consolidate. What you're going to do is you're going to take your boxes, and this is a Canadian thing, so Americans, don't worry about this. You're going to take your boxes, all your packages from a show, you consolidate them into one big box, and then you buy a label either from chitchats.com. You have to sign up. You buy a label to ship from your house. It would be picked up by Canpar and delivered to a Chit Chats hub or branch. You have to do your own research. I'm not going to hold your hand on this. You need to do your own research at chitchats.com to learn about how this would work. Or you can get your own courier company, whatever one you want to use to deliver, depending on which is cheaper. So do some tests and see. You need to do your own research to find out what's going to work. Please don't complain to me that you can't sell on Whatnot during this strike because you didn't bother to actually do any research to see if this was an option. For some people, switching to Chit Chats and then consolidating your packages and sending one big package by Canpar or any other courier system might be cheaper for you, less expensive costing than you doing individual bring your own label. Okay. It may actually work out to be better for you to do this than to do the bring your own label. So keep this in the back of your mind. If you think you might want to do bring your own label because you don't have a Chit Chats location near you, this could be an alternative. Okay. So Chit Chats also offers pickups, but for very select customers. So you have to contact them to find out if you qualify. All right. It's not for everybody. Okay. So if there is a full national strike like there was before, Whatnot will activate the bring your own label system, BYOL. Okay. So you can keep selling, but you need to research your options beforehand. And there's some things you need to consider. And this is the time when I need you to research. Again, not going to hold your hand. You guys need to do the research and make business decisions based on your business because everybody is completely different in what they sell, size of boxes, weight of boxes, all that kind of stuff. It's going to make, and where you live totally makes a difference. Also, some of you have customers that are all in urban areas. Others of you have customers that are in farther away areas. Okay. So again, be a grown up, be a business owner, and start doing your own research because bring issues. If you have an issue and have a question for me, I'm happy to answer questions, but I want you to, as the Hodgepodge Place says, is it at an 8? Like, is it level 8, 9, 10? Then bring it to me. Otherwise, can you do your own research? Yes, do your own research first. And then if you hit a brick wall, come and ask me the question. You can ask questions in here. Any question is, there's no such thing as a wrong question in here, but don't message me and ask me to do research for you because I'm not going to. Okay. Good morning, East Ender resales. So here's the cost to consider about using bring your own label, which last time around I used bring your own label during the last strike. I used bring your own label and there were some additional costs for me, but I made some adjustments. So, and a lot of people used bring your own label and did well on Whatnot during this time before we had Chit Chats. And these are the things to consider. First and foremost, you're going to have to pre-purchase your own labels like you would if you sold on eBay or Etsy or whatever, right? So you're going to have money in your credit card or your Visa debit, whatever, to be able to purchase labels from different companies. And we'll talk about the different companies in a second. So make sure that if you If your cash flow is an issue for you, make sure that you're putting aside money that you can put onto your credit card so that you can buy those labels, because you can't do a show and then turn around to Whatnot and say, oh, geez, sorry, I've got to wait until my payday before I can possibly ship out this stuff because I don't have enough money on my credit card, enough available credit on my credit card to buy labels. Okay, so don't do that. So make sure you've got money set aside. Also, and this is a business decision you have to make. I can't make it for you. I'm just making a suggestion. Take what you like and leave the rest. Add more onto your start bids, or in your buy it now, increase your buy it now price to offset the additional shipping costs, because in most cases, bring your own label will cost you more than what Whatnot is going to give you. Okay, so here's how it works. With bring your own label, you go into the seller hub. And good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm going to just like blast through this. So I apologize if I'm not saying hi individually. So go to when bring your own label is activated, which it is not activated yet. So don't try and look for it. You will go into your seller hub to shipments. You will package up your shipments as you usually would. You'll get the address from Whatnot, the address information of your customer from the Whatnot seller hub, which is seller.whatnot.com. Then you're going to go to the carrier company that you choose. You're going to purchase a label with a tracking number. Then you come back to the seller hub on Whatnot. You enter that tracking number and you save it. And then 7 days after you've entered the tracking number, sorry, that's small. There we go. 7 days after you've entered the tracking number, Whatnot will release the funds to your ledger. Okay. That money will include the item sale price minus fees and commission, as well as the amount that the buyer paid Whatnot for shipping. So you will get whatever the buyer paid Whatnot for shipping. They are not going to, as far as I know, now I could be wrong, but as far as I know, they're just going to stick with what they have now. So probably like Canada Post prices, which are higher than if you have Canada Post selected and you're not using Chit Chats, then they're going to charge the Canada Post prices that they normally would. So that is what you will get from Whatnot. So don't buy expensive labels and expect Whatnot to cover the costs. They are not going to cover any additional costs that you have for shipping using Bring Your Own Label. Because first of all, they're a business and they have to make money. Second of all, they didn't cause this strike. So please don't get angry at Whatnot. Also a reminder, the 4% commission for Canadian sellers continues until June 8th. And last time they did reduce our commission even further, but we are still on a discounted commission right now, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so here's what I need you to do. You need to do, if you haven't been through with us during the last strike, you need to start doing your research now. Go to chitchats.com. Look at where their locations are. Where's the closest hub or branch where you could, if you don't live close to them, you could possibly ship your consolidated packages that we talked about before to them. That's your first research. Then you're going to look at there's a bunch of companies here. Now, Sendle may not be an option. That's why it's got a star. There's McCool, Stallion Express, Freightcom.com. That was the one that most people used last time around. Shipping Chimp. There's also ShipStation and Penguin Pickup. There's a lot of options. You have to do your research as business owners, because it's going to be different quotes based on where you live in Canada. And so one company made, like Stallion Express is mostly urban. So that may not be an option for you. You may not want to use Stallion Express because they're mostly urban. Freightcom.com, I'm in a semi-rural area. It was pretty good for me. People on Vancouver Island were using freightcom.com. Also, get on our Discord. In the show notes is our Discord. It's over here somewhere. Anyways, go to the show notes. There is a Discord link. We have an unofficial Whatnot Discord. So what I need you to do is to join our Discord, because we're going to create a channel that's going to be about consolidated shipping. So here's the thing. If you live in an area like Vancouver Island, you could pool together to use Chit Chats, and together put your boxes all together. Okay. So you all consolidate your shipments together and send them out. So if you know that there's another, like, so find sellers in your area that you can work with to do that consolidated shipping. Like, let's actually work together. There you go, you're on Vancouver Island. So there's already a couple of sellers in a region who are working together so they can use Chit Chats and get their packages to Chit Chats without it being an extra expense like, because when you pool your resources together, the shipping goes down. So everyone, please go to the Discord. So Haida Studio, go to the show notes. There's a Discord link. Join our Discord. It's a discussion group. It's like a bulletin board discussion group. We have individual channels. You don't get overwhelmed because we're not a hugely chatty group. We chat when we need to. And I've forgotten to even message on there about all this strike stuff. So make sure. So there you go. Emerald City is in Abbotsford. So everyone join the Discord, and I'm going to create the consolidated shipping channel, and then we'll create regions. Once people start identifying where they are, I can create regions and say, like Vancouver Island, North BC, Central BC, et cetera, et cetera. As we identify people, then, we can say Manitoba, whatever. So we can start to organize, and that may be one way that you could consolidate your shipping and send it to Chit Chats. But anyways, I digress. These are the companies. If you're going to use bring your own label. Now, Whatnot has not announced which courier companies we're going to be able to use. Last time it was UPS and FedEx. Okay. So they're not the cheapest option out there. Hopefully they're going to add additional companies besides UPS and FedEx. Fingers crossed Purelator, because Purelator has more coverage across Canada because they're actually owned by Canada Post and make money. So that's why I'm suggesting these third-party companies, because what they do is they get you discounts. If you went to FedEx.com or UPS.com and tried to get a cheap label, you're going to see huge prices. And people did that last time. They went to UPS.com and they went to FedEx.com and they said, I'm not going to do shows because it's too expensive to ship. And then I'm like, did you go to FreightCom? No. Go to freightcom.com, do the same, do a quote there. So you have to actually test it out. Like, take a package that you go to your shipments on Whatnot. If you go to Seller Hub, seller.whatnot.com, and you go to your shipments, pick a big heavy box that you sent out, and then go and test it out on all these different websites. The address that the person was at, the weight and the dimensions, and see what kind of quotes you get. I found personally that freightcom.com was the least expensive of them all, and had at my door pickup for no extra cost. So do your own research. It's going to be different depending on where you live. Okay. So I live outside of Peterborough. It's different for me than it is for like Thrifting with ADHD or for Emerald City or for Vintiquity or even for Ivers. It's different. So do your research. Okay. There. Door pickup was actually awesome. It was the one thing EastEnder resales that I missed when Canada Post went back to got forced to the union got forced to go back to work, because I really missed just being able to put them under. I had a little spot under the outdoor elevator. I put them in there, and like the guy, like every morning, the guy came up and picked them up for me. So I do miss that because I didn't have to go out in the snow. So but I am switching to Chit Chats, but I will certainly miss it. I might even do consolidated shipping, so it takes it to Burlington. Okay, so here's the other thing. Let me just sorry, I'm gonna move myself. I'm moving myself down. Hang on. Yeah, I'm going down here. I'm gonna go in the chat. Oh, where did I completely disappear? I did. Okay, that's all right. Okay, Whatnot's going to have to stop international buying by Canadians. Yeah, if you can just save it till the end, that would be awesome, EastEnder. So Whatnot, so expect, and I highly suggest that because of the uncertainty, that buying from the US is probably not a good idea right now, because I don't know if it's going to make it up in time before they close the doors. Okay, before they have to shut their doors for a national strike, if a national strike happens. So My recommendation is that you research mail forwarding companies so you can still buy from Whatnot shows. If you really do want to still buy from US Whatnot shows, you're going to have to research mail forwarding companies. These companies do charge fees for taking your package and relabeling it and shipping it up. Some of them do like extra fees because they like repackage your things, which I didn't like at all. And there were like huge fees. So make sure you look at all the fees. It may sound really good at first that it's super cheap, but make sure you read the fine print because I got screwed by two companies. One of them being myus.com, totally full of like hidden fees, ridiculous. So if you still want to buy, shipsy.com. Thank you, Blue Golf. So if you still want to buy internationally, you're going to have a US address to do so. I would even recommend that for like England. I mean, you could have there are companies that will forward from England to Canada. Again, just make sure that you think also about the fact that a lot of them will use like DHL and FedEx to deliver to you across the border. And so you're going to have customs charges as well. So just do your research beforehand if you are going to do that. And look, do you like the graphic? I managed to get a graphic exactly the graphic I wanted. Don't tell my daughter I used Chat GPT again. Shh. So yes, perfect perfect timing there. Buy now shop 59. The post office box slide is next. So it's like you read my mind. So if you use a post office box, if you're a Canadian who uses a post office box, you're going to have to find an alternative address for ordering on Whatnot, because during the strike, if it's a full strike, um, couriers can't deliver to post office boxes. The only Canada Post can shove things in a post box. So if it's a one of those like UPS store boxes, you're fine. But if it's an actual post office box, you cannot use that address on Whatnot. It will not. The couriers can't deliver to you. The alternative couriers can't deliver to you, including chit chats. Okay, so you're going to have to find an alternative address. If you use a post office box for your own personal safety, find an alternative address like a friend, a family, a neighbor. You could ask if you know somebody in town who has a business, a brick and mortar. Ask them if you can have your packages delivered to them. Find somewhere else if you don't want to give out your home address. All right. If you are an American and you're going to be buying from Canadian shows during the strike, again, during the strike, Canadians will be able to sell around the world. We just won't be able to buy around the world. So, if you're an American who has a post office box address, just know that the seller is going to have to contact you and ask you for a physical address to ship to you, because unless they use chit chats. So if they're using bring your own label, they're going to have to contact you to ask you for a physical address to use for the label, because most of these alternative companies will not be able to ship to you unless it's like Stallion Express, because they're like chit chats and they use UPS for final mile delivery. So, just a reminder to be cautious. Some carriers use customs brokers and often charge high fees to the buyer before releasing the package. So, if you sell international, often find a carrier that has low fees that either you can pay, or better yet, no broker. That's why I used UPS for most of my packages. It's May 23rd, Friday. Um, so keep moving forward. We've been through this before and we survived before, so keep moving forward. Schedule your shows, market your shows, share. Like, use that share button like crazy. There is not enough sharing on Whatnot. Y'all need to share more. You need to get more buyers in here. You need to tell your people that follow you on IG and Facebook and whatever to come and join you on Whatnot. If you're wondering why you have low numbers in your shows, it's might be just because you don't have the marketing done. You need to do your own marketing. Whatnot is a platform. It is not, they don't do your advertising for you. You have to do your own advertising still. You're still a business, so still do your advertising. If you have inventory and supplies that you're going to need, you better, I mean, in fact, it's too late to order them unless they're going to deliver by Thursday by Canada Post. Forget it, because Friday they could be closed. They might not be, but they could be closed on Friday. So make sure that if you're ordering inventory and supplies for your business, that it's going to be coming by an alternative, instead of by Canada Post, if it's not going to be delivered by this Thursday, 2 days away. And make sure to sign up for a few shipping companies and start comparing your rates for your most common packages. That's up to you to do that research, to determine what is going to be the best shipping companies to use. I ended up using 3 different companies at the end of the day, because I would do comparison shopping every time I did a shipment to make sure that I was getting the best possible rate. So I didn't have the least amount of money. And thank you in advance to Whatnot Support. I know that's the old logo, but you'll survive. Thank you to Whatnot Support for all of your help in advance, because this is going to suck. Yeah, hopefully you'll get it, Chantel, but there's no guarantees. So again, I'm just going to do a quick overview. The strike notice has been given. May 23rd is the first possible date for strike action. Please note that strike action doesn't necessarily mean a full out strike. The options are that they could do a full strike, or they could start doing rolling regional strikes, or the government could bring back to work legislation, or Canada Post could lock out its workers, or Canada Post could come up with a new proposal and that has to go for a vote. There are a lot of options. If it's rotating strikes, regions will be on strike, but not the whole country. This is what I'm praying for. I hope this is what happens. Then you can ship still by Canada Post, but shipping delays will occur. You can also, if you don't have Chit Chats near you, you can use Chit Chats with their Campar discount or your own courier. You consolidate your packages into one big box, you buy a label, and you have the courier deliver that to a Chit Chats Hubbard branch. So you're basically, instead of you paying an extra $10 or $5 per package using Bring Your Own Label, consolidate all your boxes into one box and ship them to Chit Chats, and it only costs you $35 for like 25 boxes, like 25 packages in there, for example. So it all depends on what you sell. If you sell a bunch of little things, this may be an option for you. It is going to take longer because obviously you've got to have your courier company pick it up and then deliver it to Chit Chats, and then it goes through the Chit Chat system. Chit Chats also offers a pickup, but you need to contact them to find out if you qualify. chitchats.com. And just quickly, if Bring Your Own Label happens, if the strike happens, we will get Bring Your Own Label, so that if you can't use Chit Chats, you'll be able to use Bring Your Own Label. I'm just going to skip that. So I need you, this is the important thing. I need you to do your research. Go to chitchats.com, figure out where the closest branch or hub is to you, read about their pickups and their Campar consolidated shipping. Go to sign up for all these companies and see which one, and do your, like, it's very simple. Go to, whoops daisy, that's my face. Go to Google. Oh, I look like hell on a stick. Okay. Go to go to Google or Bing and type in shipping and the name of your town and find out the information. It's that simple. Okay, so chitchats.com, mccool.com, sendle.com, yada yada yada. Take a screenshot of that, or just go to Google and put in shipping and my town where you live. Don't put in my town. That's not going to be helpful. And again, Whatnot will probably have to stop, or not probably, Whatnot will need to stop international buying by Canadians. So if you still want to buy from Whatnot shows outside of Canada, you need to research mail forwarding companies that you can use so that you can buy in the US and then have it sent to a US address. And then that company will charge you to have it shipped up here. Hello, Sassy. Welcome to Strike 2.0. And if you use a post office box, find an alternative address because couriers can't deliver. And that's it. Okay. All right, I'm done. Sorry. So if you asked a question previously, ask it now. Or if you were saving a question, ask it now. And I will try to answer all the questions I can. And then we'll find someone to raid into. So feel free to ask your questions. EastEnder Resale says the show must go on. My first show is this Friday, May 23rd, 8 p.m. Atlantic time. $7 starts, ladies wear. Oh my gosh. So that's awesome. On the day of, you're gonna do a show, EastEnder Resales. So golly gosh. So you need to research because you're in Atlantic Canada. Make sure that you've done research about the shipping using the Atlantic bus system. Hi D, I love you D. Good morning. Good morning, Sassy Vintage Chick. I saw Leslie in here. I'm sorry. Hello. I was trying to get through all this and stick to my little script. So yeah, go ahead. Question. Oh, D, thank you so much. Hang on. Let me just, I don't know why I've got this stuck on. Update. I don't know what I just did. Close post. Oh my dear Lord. Okay, there we go. Let me just get rid of this thing. I look like hell on a stick. Oh, oh well, you're going to survive. Hang on. Does Whatnot have, no, Whatnot does not have an option for local pickup. No. You have to do your research on Chit Chats because you live in Atlantic Canada, EastEnder, unless you live in Newfoundland, and then you're screwed. You'll be able to, oh, that's horrible. Okay. You'll be able to, that's slightly better. You could use the Maritime Bus Company. So you need to go to chitchats.com and look at their Maritime Bus Company, find the locust local. The closest and local became locust. The closest Atlantic Bus Company, you do the same thing where you consolidate your boxes into one big box or bigger boxes, and then you drop it off and they'll charge you for a label to ship it to Bedford Bay. So basically Halifax. But it goes by bus, so it's cheaper. And it is like, it's same day usually. So that's your option in Atlantic Canada. So again, first step for anybody who's a Canadian seller is to go to chitchats.com and learn from it there. Yeah, so EastEnder Resales, you put everything, all the packages into big boxes. You get Maritime Bus Company to take it to Chit Chats. Chit Chats will open up the box and ship out your stuff. Yes. Thank you. Bye now, Shop 59. Yes, everyone follow D Archivist. I love you. Okay, so sorry. Yard Yeller says, I was in and out of your teachings. May I ask if your presentation is available for download? I'm currently live on YouTube, and you can rewatch all my ridiculousness on YouTube at any time, day or night. So you just go to up my Red Rooster profile, which I guess is over here. And then there's a link. Just copy that link. It's very simple. It's bit.ly/m, I think, / the Red Rooster, I think. I don't know. I don't look at it often. I set it up or you can also go here. You can use this QR code instead. So yeah. I haven't had the time to edit my, I need to like start editing and taking chunks out because so that people can see what they like and not have to listen to my entire show in order to figure it out. Crazy Bee Lady says, I have a show Friday. Can I just bundle for people and not take bids and hold until the strike is over? You could if you want to, but this Linda, this strike could last. Last time the strike was 32 days, 31 and a half days. So do you really want to collect bundles? Or I would suggest researching about how you could do the Chit Chats thing and send it by Campar to a Chit Chats location. That would be my recommendation for you where you live, because I think your closest Chit Chats is, yeah, that would be my recommendation. Although you do you, boo. Do what, if you want to do that, if you want to do bundling, you can do that. You can totally do that. I wouldn't recommend what some sellers did last time in the cards category, where they told everyone to use local pickup and then they did separate shipping. I don't think that is a good idea. I don't recommend that. Don't do that. Because if that there's no protection for your buyer, because your buyer gives you the local pickup code, you get your money and they still haven't received anything, and they have no recourse to go to Whatnot and say, hey, Whatnot, I didn't actually get my stuff, because they used an out of, like, it's against terms of service actually. So just don't do that. Just don't do it. Okay, so Absolute Flipping Deal says, so people need to know that it's just the drivers that are going, and the rural delivery people, they're going on strike, and that the postal services are still open. Absolute Flipping Deals, no, it's going to be exact same as last time. Most locations will be closed, and they will not be accepting any new packages. They won't accept any mail. So there will be no postal services still open. You may be able to go into some post office boxes and but it'll be exactly the same as it was before. No mail being accepted, no packages being accepted, people just sitting on their hands if they're not part of this union that's going on strike. They were getting paid to sit in the office, the building, and do nothing. But if there are no drivers moving the mail around, they can't accept any mail. Chantal asks if they going to be able to strike as long as the last time. They can strike for as long as they want to. Yes, until the government forces them back. So if you're concerned and you're a Canadian, you could always contact your member of parliament and say you want them to do back to work legislation if that's your thing. I'm sort of on the fence about that, because I know Canada Post needs to be reorganized because it's not working the way it is. But I also feel for the people who are about to lose their jobs, but the same, because this economy sucks to begin with. But at the end of the day, Canada Post needs to be reorganized. So I think this is only going to be resolved by legislation, which is basically going to tear up the Canada Post Corporation. It's going to tear up the whole legislation. Everything's going to have to change. D Archivist asks, I hate to ask this, but is the strike related to the same previous one? Yes. So it is the continuation of the one before. So in December of last year, the Minister of Labor got the Canadian Industrial Relations Board to order the workers back to work and to create a pause until May 22nd. They paused the strike, and a commission was created. So the hope was that it would be fine, but it wasn't. You just came out a tweet and they said they would take mail. Did they take mail last time around? Did they take mail? Because they actually taped up in all around here. The post office boxes were taped, so they were not accepting any more mail because they were full. So they may still take the mail for a bit. I know Campbellford took mail for 2 days and then taped everything up when they realized the strike was going to continue. Oh, I need a drink. Our shoppers took mail for about a week. Oh yeah, So you could go to your local Shoppers Drug Mart. Um, yeah. So they will take the mail and they have to just hold it there. It can't move from that location. So it was just stuck at Shoppers Drug Mart for 30 days. But they stopped actually accepting. Terry gets to see the red chat. They stopped accepting mail because they ran out of room. I don't know. Lesson learned for this time, y'all. Don't take mail so that there's nowhere to move in the building. Yeah. So I just dropped off Canada Post this morning, praying that regional strikes are going to happen and that most of my packages are going to make it to their delivery points by Thursday, because it seems like it's moving pretty quickly for most packages. But some packages are going to get stuck, and I'm sorry. It is going to be a nightmare if they do full regional strikes. So everybody, fingers crossed, it's not going to be full regional strikes. So yeah. Any more questions at all? It's pretty much all I have to talk about. This is all I'm gonna talk about for the next, unless something changes with tariffs. Yes, everyone pray or, burn sage, whatever it is, do a dance. I don't care. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question, D. Probably. Didn't he already install some idiot last time around to run it? Um, I am going to get strike fatigue again. I already have strike fatigue again. I already have strike fatigue. It didn't help last night. I had a migraine when I was doing my show yesterday. So instead of doing like, good morning, and don't worry, Melody, you're late to nothing, but you know, the same old, same old. So, oh, thank you, D. Hugging you back. I have the bugs here. I'm not even going to put chocolate on the bugs. I'm just going to eat them. I could eat one bug every day of the strike in the hopes that I don't have to eat through the whole bag. Canada Post my Canada Post was accepting packages this morning. So Canada Post has said they're going to continue on as normal, but they've warned they did send out the email that says that like they're going to continue on as normal until the strike starts. Yeah, I'm just going to eat. That's my decision, D. I think it's going to be easier to just coordinate that I eat a bug every day. Yeah, and Sassy, it's Peacock's fault. Put down a so Emerald City Vintage says, put down a Canadian flag if you're a Canadian seller or buyer so we can follow and support one another. Yeah. Melody, you're reading National Post. Why are you reading the National Post? Man, Conrad Black, freaking fascist. Stop reading the Canada Post, National Post. Stop reading the National Post. It's as close as we get to like Fox News. You burn it to keep warm. Don't read the National Post. Don't give them airtime. I have it blocked. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I do read the Financial Post though. But I don't read the National Post. Yeah, I like David. I love you, Sassy. Thank you so much for the tip. Everyone follow my friend Sassy Vintage Chick, the archivist. A reworker's passion was in earlier, but she was probably like, this is all about Canadians, so I get the gist. Oh, what's Romeo barking at? Oh, probably East Ender Resales. Thank you for the tip. I love you. Thank you so much. East Ender Resales, new sellers doing her very first show on the day the strike is supposed to start. Not the postman, that's for sure. We don't have door to door delivery. And to be honest, before hang on, we got to go walk outside and stop the dog from barking at whatever he's barking at. I don't like dogs barking. Excuse me. Why Romeo bark? Ooh, I'll show you my lilacs. Ignore all the mess. But the lilacs are out. Hang on. That's happier thing. I'll be shipping by Chit Chats. Yay! We have like a. Yes, I know. Ignore the mess below there. We got our lilacs out, which makes me happy. The lilacs are out. All right, let's go sit out in the sun. Yeah, it's like a wall of lilac. And if you ever, so it's the festival's already over, but in the future, next year, the Borkworth, they have a trail. They have one of those long Trans Canada type walking trails, and they have a festival. It's the lined with lilacs, and so they have a lilac festival every year when they're in full bloom, which is usually now. So, and it's on May long weekend, the whole long weekend. They have all kinds of vendors and stuff going on and at the lilac festival. So next year you can come. I've lived here for 3 summers now and I haven't gone, or almost. This will be my next summer. So all right. I have to catch up on the chat. It is
It is not super warm, but it is in the sun. We've been nonstop rain for over a week now. Oh, well, that means May showers bring June flowers, right? And it's cold in the Maritimes. Yeah, I mean, this morning I had the on the heat. I turned on the heater in the kitchen and I turned on the heater in the basement because I refuse to. I refuse to use my natural gas furnace. I'm trying to denatural gas myself. Does that make any sense? I'm trying to have less gas, no beans. April showers bring Mayflowers. June brings nasty heat. This is true. The Lilac Festival in Calgary is in a couple of weeks. Look for my sister and her funky handmade clothes. Ooh, who's in Calgary? Who else is in Calgary? Okay. 26, everyone drop your emojis and share who you are and where you're from, and so we can follow each other. And I'll start insert a bunch of rooster emojis in a non-suggestive way, followed by some hearts, and then hi, my name is Kim. I'm the Red Rooster, and I'm in Hastings, Ontario. Yeah, it's still Ontario, isn't it? Oh my god, I'm tired. I have strike fatigue already. And I sell just about everything. And the sassy vintage chick, I talk a lot and try to sell stuff. This is true. And she has really cool nails. And D Archivist, 365 project, every D of the week for a year. I'm from the country below you. Yes, I stand with Canada. We love you. And D, you're at, what are you at? 360 today, 365. You're so close. Live stream. You can watch my show again on YouTube because I'm outside now, so I can't show you the PowerPoint. But 353 Ds. That is awesome. So I would first recommend researching Chit Chats. That's not an option for you, including their pickup or consolidated delivery. Then look at a bunch of other companies. Go to Google and type in shipping my town. Freightcom.com is what most people used last time. Emerald City Vintage says, I'm in Abbotsford, British Columbia. I left Whatnot for 2 years and now coming back, going to be joining the Dainty Lady train. Yes, which may be postponed, but hopefully not. Hopefully it'll be okay. I know. Isn't it incredible, Peacock, that the D has been on 353 Ds? That rhymes. 53 Ds. Eastender Resale says, hi, I'm Sandra Rothsay, New Brunswick. First show this Friday. Come join me. Yay! Peacock Julie is starting her own clumsy lady raid train. Yes, let's do it. Large train. I like that idea. I think it might actually get a lot of people coming in. Most of the stuff is broken. I have this really awesome mug that Lily, are you outside? Hopefully not, because there's a bird of prey over top of our deck right now. Just call me Gracie. We can eat cake. Ooh, brownie, pot brownies. So we get silly as the show goes on. No, you shouldn't do that. Shop with Tasha says, Oshawa, Ontario. I sell just about everything. She has great clothes and awesome books and a whole bunch of other awesome things. Buy Now Shop 59 says, hi, I'm Terry from Dundas, Ontario. Live show tomorrow around 1:07 p.m. in a storefront going out of business sale. Yes, you have somebody local who has a clothing store that's going out of business. So all the Blue Jays are making an announcements. The Jays are announcing because they want the big scary bird to go away, because there is a big scary bird. Romeo, leave Keisha alone. Come here. If Keisha come, Keisha can come. Oh, Lily heard that. Okay. All right, everyone. The bugs are starting to come out. The Jays are announcing that it's time. The Jay said, watch the Red Rooster on YouTube. Live stream Chit Chats can't come closer. I message Chit Chats and tell them you want a Chit Chats location in Windsor. It would make total sense. Angie's this and that says, I'm from Listowel, Ontario, and I sell everything. She's really off. Jewelry from Angie that was amazing. Peacock Jury says Ontario bugs, no bugs in BC, move here. No bugs at all? How does your ecosystem work then? Didn't David Suzuki fix all that for you? Right across from Detroit, saving them a trip. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if you were able to just do that yourself, but use some. It'd be interesting. Anyways, look into watch my YouTube channel, because you can rewatch this and you can just watch the start of it, because I go over it like twice as usual. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Terry, for offering to send the screenshots. And also I will put that information up on the Discord. So it'll be in the Discord. Mada. SoCal Chemainus, Vancouver Island is beautiful. Thank you, Dee. Yes, if you go and look at, why aren't you modded? Mod. There we go. Why is it a double click for so down below, there's also, you can get to it down below. And if anyone's interested in raid trains, message Angie's this and that. She does a raid train month family fashion. The first one went really, really well. Oh, Peacock. The only person guaranteed it is I love you, Ivor, but I would not give you that power. Now you get to see that if anybody red chats. So there you go. That exactly. But did that red chat? That didn't look like it red chatted. I can't see very well because we're in the brightness. Oh, it did red chat. Okay. So shows and asking any questions. Oh yeah, there you go. So ask your questions. Feel free. I've got to throw a ball. I got to switch to another arm. I realized I was trying to figure out why this shoulder was hurting so much. Because it's really been bothering me, and then I realized that I've been throwing things outside constantly since the weather's been getting better. So now I have to switch arms. I have to remind myself that I'm both arms. Be ambidextrous in my dog play. Okay. Let me just go down here for a second. Please hold. I just had to see who was on. All right. So we're gonna raid into we're gonna go raid. Unless anyone has any questions. You know it takes me a while to type things in. So oh, I love this on the new thing that when you hit the raid button on iPhone, it now shows you where someone is. It says like US, Canada. Ew, why is it showing me Corey? I guess I don't have them blocked. That's why. All right, there we go. We're gonna go into Great Canadian Jewelry because she's almost by herself. I know. I don't know why it showed me that. That's disgusting. I love you guys so much. Have a great day. And yeah, if you want to watch this again, it's on YouTube under my lives. You have to go to my lives and then you'll see it there. And then you can watch me whenever you want. You can put me on repeat. Just put me on repeat in the background. All right. I love you guys. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. I don't think I have a show today. Hopefully. I'm going to not have a show today because I got to get ready for this auction stuff. Love you. Bye.